Hey, it's Liz from No Trace, and in this video I'm going to show you how to turn part of an old denim painting apron into a zipper pouch. This is a great way to get an old apron back in use as something functional and fun. So let's go! So we're going to cut off these two side pieces to make our zipper pouch. This is where I get out my ruler and I'm going to line it up with the edge of this pocket material that's super stiff. And we're going to save that and make that into a beautiful pouch too. But I'm going to cut right here. And you might have a spot that is too hard to get close to. Like right here, my rotary cutter couldn't quite get there, so I'll just go in with my scissors and cut. And then come on over here and cut this side off of the apron. And again, there's going to be some spots that might be too thick for your rotary cutter, like up here. And this is where the scissors come in handy. Okay, now we also want to prepare this fabric for a pouch. So what we want to do is remove it. So this is the pocket, right? So we want to remove the pocket panel from this panel. And the way we do that is with a seam ripper. So you just want to get in, find the thread, and separate the pocket from the back panel. And I try to save as much of this fabric as I can, but I also try to not go crazy with perfection. So if you have a little cut, it doesn't quite separate as smoothly as you like, that is okay too. So we're kind of doing our best here, salvaging as much as we can of the pocket. Okay, so we've successfully pulled the pocket off and we're setting this aside to turn into a pouch in a minute. And now we have this panel that we're going to use to make another pouch. So we're actually going to fold it like this, and it's going to become a pouch as well with a zipper right here, and we'll get two pieces of lining fabric for the inside. So now that I've got these pieces cut and ready to go, I have measured the width and the height, and I've cut out liner pieces that are the same, except that I added a 1/2 inch height to the liner piece because this is a continuous piece, and on the liners I'm actually going to have to create a hem at the bottom. So I had to add a little bit of height to the liners so I can create that bottom hem on the pouch. So what we're going to do next is attach the zipper. So I'm going to place the zipper with the right side of the zipper facing the right side of the apron fabric. And this zipper is actually a little bit too long for the pouch, and that's fine. It's a metal zipper, so you can't just sew over it, but I'm going to carefully sew over this area. I'm just going to hand crank over this area so that I don't break a needle on the teeth there. So I'm placing that right side down, and then I'm just going to clip it on like so. And then I add my liner piece right side facing the right side of the pouch and facing the wrong side of the zipper, and I'm just going to add it into the clips like so. Then I'm going to take it over to my machine and I'm going to stitch with a 1/4 inch seam allowance just straight along that edge. So I've stitched this together using about a 1/4 inch seam allowance in my zipper foot, and then I folded it right side out and I pressed it really well on both sides of the zipper. And the next step is I'm going to top stitch straight down to really keep that fabric in place so it doesn't get caught in the zipper teeth when I open and close the pouch. And then I'm just going to repeat those steps on the other side of the pouch as well. I'll show you that in just a second. Okay, I've top stitched right along the zipper tape there so the fabric stays in place and doesn't get caught in the zipper. And now we're going to bring the other side of this outer fabric up to the other side of the zipper and just line it up neatly and go ahead and clip just like we did with the first side. Then flip it over and now we add in the lining piece. Again, we want the right sides facing each other, and we'll just add that to our clips. And then I'm going to take it to my machine and stitch straight along this edge with a 1/4 inch seam allowance using the zipper foot. Okay, so I've attached the other side of the pouch and the liner to the other side of the zipper, and then I pressed and top stitched. So in the next step, we're going to turn this whole thing right side out, and we are going to clip it so that the two pieces of liner fabric are facing each other and the two outer pieces of fabric are also facing each other. And you want to line up the seam at the edge with the zipper tape pointing down into the lining fabric. So line that up neatly and put a clip right there. And then flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. So we want the seams to be lined up with each other and the zipper tape to point down into the lining fabric. Now I've got zipper, metal parts of zipper that are going to be in this seam. So when I get to that area, I'm going to very gently by hand crank the needle up and down so I can make sure to miss the metal when I'm sewing. Once it's clipped all the way around, I'm going to take it to the machine and stitch it together with about a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And obviously I'm not going to stitch this area because I don't need to. Actually, it's going to be more like a 3/8 inch seam allowance. And again, when I get to this area where there's some metal in the zipper, I'm going to do that very carefully and by hand. And I'm leaving this spot open. All right, I've stitched all the way around on the open sides, and again, moving very carefully over the metal area. So now I'm going to turn it right side out, and it's almost done. After it's turned right side out, the last step is to press this opening in the lining fabric and then just stitch straight across that opening with a 1/8 inch seam allowance. All right, I've stitched the opening closed in the lining fabric. So now all that's left to do is push that lining back into the pouch. You might want a chopstick to get it down into those corners. And then you're going to go around and trim all the loose threads, and then you're done. I hope you had fun making a pouch with me. Thanks so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the No Trace channel and get notified about our videos. We have new videos coming out every Wednesday, so I hope to see you again very soon. Bye!